There's an invisible current guiding every moment of your life. It isn't fate, luck, or divine punishment. It's your focus. Where your attention lives, your experience forms. You don't simply witness reality. You sculpt it, one repeated thought at a time. We rarely realize how powerful that is because most of what we focus on, we do unconsciously. We replay fears. We imagine what could go wrong. We analyze, defend, and prepare. And without meaning to, we build an inner simulation so vivid that the body begins to believe it's real. The Hermeticists called it mind as matter. Modern psychology calls it selective attention. Different language, same truth. Your focus is the gravity of your world. Whatever it circles long enough eventually becomes your center of mass. This is why the same struggles repeat, even when circumstances change. You move cities, you end relationships, you start new projects, yet the pattern re-emerges, familiar, frustrating, identical in feeling, because you never escaped the old story. You carried it with you. The mind filters new reality through the lens of old expectation. It's not a curse, it's confirmation bias, the built-in mechanism that helps us feel consistent. But what feels consistent isn't always what's true. If the story in your head says, "I'm unseen," you'll subconsciously scan every room for proof. Every neutral glance becomes rejection. Every silence becomes evidence. You'll find exactly what your focus demanded and never realize you created it. This isn't mysticism, it's neurochemistry. Your brain edits the infinite down to a pattern that matches your expectations, and emotion seals it in place. Emotion is the fuel that locks reality in orbit. A thought by itself is like a seed, neutral, weightless. But add emotion, and it grows roots. Fear, shame, doubt. These are heavy states of energy. They drag your focus downward, fixing attention on what could collapse instead of what could evolve. The mind starts protecting the very illusion it fears. It rehearses disaster so vividly that the nervous system can't tell imagination from memory. You feel danger when you're safe. You feel small when nothing is holding you down. And because that feeling feels true, the body keeps behaving as if the threat is still there. This is how energy becomes reality. Not metaphysically, mechanically. Every emotion sends instructions to perception, and perception then shapes your interpretation of the world. So, your life doesn't mirror your goals. It mirrors your dominant emotional rehearsal. Let's bring it closer to life. A man convinced he'll fail becomes hyper-aware of what could go wrong. He delays action to prepare. The delay becomes evidence of unworthiness, and the belief is confirmed. A woman convinced love is unsafe becomes alert to every inconsistency. She tests for loyalty until exhaustion creates distance. The distance validates her fear. Every fixation on what if creates the emotional signature of it already is. That's how the loop sustains itself. Belief, focus, emotion, proof, belief. This is not punishment, it's precision. Consciousness obeys law, not preference. Energy follows attention, and emotion gives that attention form. The outer world is not mocking you. It's mirroring the energy pattern you keep rehearsing internally. When you learn to see this, you stop calling it fate and start calling it feedback. So how do you break free from this gravity? Not by rejecting the negative thought, not by forcing yourself to think positive. You break the orbit by seeing the pattern without judgment. Awareness loosens fixation. Observation cuts the energy cord that feeds the loop. The practice is simple, but not easy. When the mind starts spiraling, pause. Acknowledge what's happening. This is projection, not prophecy. Then look around. Anchor your senses. Touch the surface beneath your hand. Listen for sound. Feel your breath in real time. Your nervous system begins recalibrating to now. Fear can't survive presence. It only thrives in imagination. And the more often you bring attention back, the more safety becomes your body's default signal. This isn't spiritual bypassing, it's neural retraining. You're teaching the body that peace is reality, and fear is just rehearsal. From that state, creation becomes natural again. When attention is freed from fear, it starts noticing what was always available. Paths, people, timing, guidance. Opportunities don't suddenly appear. You finally see them. This is why awareness feels mystical, because clarity itself is abundance. You don't manifest by commanding the universe. You manifest by removing the interference that kept you blind to it. Reality doesn't respond to force, it aligns to coherence. And coherence begins when thought, emotion, and attention stop contradicting each other. You stop saying, "I'm free," while mentally guarding the cage. You stop saying, "I'm ready," while emotionally rehearsing fear. You start seeing the mirror for what it is. Not judgment, not punishment, but reflection. Here's the ultimate realization. You were never fighting reality. You were fighting your reflection. Attention is the brush that paints perception. And every time you look for proof of fear, you color the canvas with its shade. The moment you withdraw attention, the illusion fades on its own. Because the darkness was never the absence of light. It was light, shaped by focus, folded in on itself. So when you feel trapped, remember, you're not trapped by circumstance, you're trapped by concentration. Shift that beam, even slightly, and the scene begins to recompose itself. You don't need to chase light. Just stop staring into the shadow. You are not cursed, you are concentrated. Redirect that concentration, and the mind's gravity becomes creation.